Good morning students, this is my lecture number 1 for class 11th subject English for chapter number 1 from your supplementary book Snapshots, and the chapter's title is The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, written by William Saroyan. This chapter is taken from your supplementary Snapshots. This is the first lecture of this chapter. Let's begin the chapter with the main characters of the story. In this chapter, you will read about two Armenian boys. Children, Armenian means the language of Armenia. Those Armenian boys named Aram and Murad were cousins, and they were very much fond of riding horse. And the second character is the owner of that horse, whose name was John Byro. And then the third main character of the story is Aram's uncle, Mr. Khosrov. So these are the main characters of the story that we will read in the chapter, and now we will proceed to the introduction of the story. Let me introduce the chapter to you. The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse is written by William Saroyan. The story is about two Armenian boys, Aram and Murad, who belong to the Garoglenian family. Their tribe is known for their honesty. They are poor and can hardly earn money for their food. Both of them are fond of horse riding. Murad had stolen a horse from a farmer a month ago, and one early morning he brought it to the window of Aram and asked him to come along for a ride. They rode the horse for many days. When Aram gets to know the horse is stolen, he gets shocked, but discounts the stealing in his mind. One day, the owner of the horse, John Byro, comes to his house to complain about his missing horse to Uncle Khosrov. One day, on their way back to hide the horse on the deserted vineyard, both the boys meet the owner and feel guilty at the end. The next morning, they return the horse back to the owner's barn. This is the complete introduction of the story. Now let's begin with the explanation of the chapter, and the chapter begins when Murad wakes up Aram. One day, 9-year-old Aram was asleep and was in a world of extremely beautiful imagination. His life was pleasant and kind of in a mysterious dream. His cousin Murad showed up on the window of his room at 4 a.m. in the morning. He called Aram, who jumped out of his bed and still couldn't believe what he saw out of the window. It was dawn. Dawn means early morning, as the time is already written. It was dawn, and there was light enough outside to make him see outside. What made him believe he wasn't dreaming? Murad was sitting on a white horse. Aram rubbed his eyes and stuck out his head out of the window. Murad assured Aram that it was not a dream. He asked if he wanted a ride, he must make it quick. Murad was the type of person who enjoyed being alive, but he couldn't believe that he was seeing a horse in front of him. Aram's earliest memory was of horses, and he always wanted to ride one. This was the wonderful part, that he was actually going to ride a horse for real. Aram's curiosity for the horse. Aram's family was poor and had no money, so it was difficult for him to believe in what he saw outside his house. He belonged to the Garogolenian family that was strictly and funnily in poverty. They didn't even know how they managed to get food for themselves every day. Although his tribe was poor, they were known for their honesty for 11 centuries. They were honest, proud, and always believed in right and wrong. No one from their family would ever steal anything or would take advantage of anyone in the whole world. Aram was so excited that he was seeing a horse that was so pleasant and beautiful. He could smell it and hear it breathing and still couldn't believe that Murad or anyone in the family could afford a horse. He was thinking if Murad had stolen the horse, but he didn't believe it as he thought no one in his family could be a thief. He stared at his cousin and then at the horse. There was religious motionlessness and wittiness in both Murad and the horse, as one charmed him and the other scared him. He asked Murad if he had stolen the horse. Murad replied, if he wants the ride, he must jump out of the window. Aram was convinced that the horse was stolen by Murad. He came to visit him to ask him to ride it with him. Aram tried to convince himself that it was not the same as stealing money, as they both were so crazy about riding a horse. He thought that it would not be called stealing until they decide to sell it, which they would never do. Aram said he would wear some clothes and come outside. He jumped down to his yard from his room's window and sat on the horse behind his cousin. Now there is description about their family and how they live. Aram lived at the edge of the town on Walnut Avenue. There were orchards, vineyards, irrigation ditches, and country roads behind his house. They were on Olive Avenue. Within 3 minutes, and the horse started to proceed. The air felt new and lovely to breathe. Aram felt wonderful sitting on the horse, which was running. Murad started singing loudly, who was considered one of the craziest members of the family. As there is one crazy person in every family, and Murad was one natural descendant of a crazy race in their tribe. Before Murad was Uncle Khosrow, was the one huge man with black hair and largest moustache in the valley. He had an energetic temper and was impatient, which was irritating. He used to make anyone stop talking by roaring and say, "It's no harm, pay no attention to it." Uncle Khosrow was always this rigid, no matter who happened to be talking about in front of him. Once his own son, Arav, came running to him when he was getting his moustache trimmed at the barber's shop. He told him that the house was on fire, to which he rode and said the same dialogue. Barber was amused and tried to talk to him about it, but as usual, Uncle Khosrow rode again and did not pay attention to it. Murad was considered to be a natural descendant of this man, but he wasn't his son. His father was Zorab, who was a practical sort of fellow. A child could look like his father, but he doesn't mean he gets his nature and attitude just the same. There are different kinds of people in their tribes, moody and without any settled work or home. They were still riding the horse and Murad was still singing loudly. They were still in the countryside where, according to their neighbors, they belonged to. Now we will talk about the incidents happened during their horse riding. Murad asked Aram to get down as he wanted to ride alone. Aram asked if he could ride the horse alone. He said it is up to the horse if he wanted to ride him along and asked him to get Murad down again. Aram tried to convince him that the horse would let him ride, to which Murad said that they should see, and told Aram that he had a way with the horse. Aram told him that he had it too. Murad told him to get down and said it was for his own safety. Let's hope so. Aram got down while telling him that he would ride the horse alone. Murad kicked his heels in the horse and shouted, "Run," to him. The horse stood on its hind legs means back legs, breathed out and ran into a speed. Murad raced the horse across a field to dry grass and irrigation ditches. When they arrived 5 minutes later, they were wet. The sun was almost up, and Aram told him it was his turn to ride. Murad got off, and Aram sat on the horse. He was fearful, and the horse did not move. Murad tried to guide him by saying that he should try to kick into his muscles, and told him that he should hurry because they need to take him back before everyone would wake up. Aram kicked into the muscles of the horse, to which the horse again raced and breathed out. The horse began to run, and Aram did not know what to do next. The horse started going towards the road that leads to the vineyard of Dikran Halabian. It began to move over vines, and Aram fell down. The horse continued to run, and Murad came running down the horse towards him. Murad told him that he was not worried about him, but they needed to find the horse. They both went different ways to find the horse. He instructed Aram to be kind if he saw horse anywhere. How the horse was found. Aram looked for the horse down the road, and Murad went towards the irrigation ditch. He came back after 30 minutes with the horse. He told him to jump over as the whole world was awake by then. Aram asked what would they do now, to which Murad told him about two options: take him back or hide him until tomorrow. Murad was not worried, and Aram knew that Murad would hide him somewhere and not take him back for a while. Aram asked where Murad would hide him. Murad told him about a place he knew, which would be the perfect place as a hidden spot for the horse. Aram eagerly asked him when he stole the horse. Then it appeared to him that Murad had been taking the horse for morning rides for quite some time, and he showed up this morning to ask Aram to ride along because he knew he was longing to ride one. Murad shut him down by asking a counter question about who talked about stealing a horse. Aram tried to change the question by asking him since how long was he riding the horse every morning. Murad told him that morning was the first time. Aram was not convinced and asked him if he was telling the truth. Murad said if anyone asked Aram, he should say that it was true. He further added that he did not want them to be liars, but they had to say only this. Aram agreed, and Murad walked the horse quietly towards the barn of a deserted vineyard. It belonged to a farmer named Fedwazin. The barn had some oats and alfalfa. Alfalfa is a flowering plant. They started walking home. Murad told Aram that it was not easy to get the horse to behave nicely, as it wanted to run wild at first. He told him again that he had a way with a horse and he could get them to do whatever he wanted to. Horses understood him. Aram amusingly asked him how he controlled the horse, to which Murad said he had an understanding with the horse. Aram asked him what sort of understanding did he have with him, to which Murad told him a simple and honest one. Aram confessed he would also like to know how to have an understanding with a horse. Murad assured Aram by saying that he was still a small boy. He would learn when he would be 13. Aram went home and had his breakfast. Let's talk about the meeting between Uncle Khosrow and John Byrow. Children, in the introduction of the story, I told you John Byrow, the real owner of that white horse stolen by Murad. So one day, Aram's uncle Khosrow visited his house for coffee and cigarettes. He sat in the parlor. Parlor means the sitting space in a house, and was remembering the old country when a person came to visit him. He was John Byrow, a farmer, who learned to speak Armenian because of loneliness. His mother bought Byrow some coffee and tobacco. He sipped and smoked and told them about his missing white horse who was stolen last month, and he was not able to find that. Khosrow, as usual, rode again that it was no harm, and he shouted why he was crying over a lost horse when they had lost their homeland. John replied to Khosrow that it would not bother as he lived in a city, but his country was no good without his horse. Khosrow shouted that he must not pay any attention to it. John Byrow told him that he walked down 10 miles to come here. Khosrow shouted that he had legs, to which John said his left leg hurt. Khosrow again tried to shut him down by saying that he should not pay any attention to it. John shared that the horse cost him $60. Khosrow said he would spit on the money, after which John got up and went away, slamming the door. Aram's mother told him that John had a gentle heart as he was homesick and he was such a large man. After John Byrow left Aram's house, Aram went to Murad. He was sitting under a peach tree talking to a robin bird. He was repairing the wing that was hurt of that robin. Aram told Murad about John Byrow and how he visited their house and he wanted his horse back. Aram asked him not to return the horse until he learnt to ride it. Murad told Aram that it would take him a whole year to learn to ride a horse. Aram said they could keep him for a year then. Murad stood up on his feet and shouted at him about encouraging him to be a thief in spite of being a member of that family which is known for its honesty. He declared that the horse should go to his true owner. Aram asked when would they have to return the horse, to which Murad said in 6 months. He threw the bird into the air. It almost fell twice but flew at last. For the next 2 weeks, they both would take the horse out of the barn and ride it. But every morning, the horse would throw Aram and run away whenever or wherever he tried to ride it. He still hoped he would learn to ride it the way his cousin Murad did. Now, children will talk about the encounter of these boys with John Byrow. Once on the way to the deserted vineyard to hide the horse again, both the boys, Aram and Murad, met John Byrow, who was on his way to town. Murad insisted on talking to him as he had a way with farmers also. Murad wished him good morning and Byrow saw the horse carefully. Byrow wished them back and asked the name of the horse. Murad said, "My heart," in Armenian language. Byrow complimented that it was a lovely name for a lovely horse. He swore that it was his horse that was stolen weeks ago. He asked if he could look into his mouth. After looking from tooth to tooth, it said it was his horse if he did not know his parents. He said the horse was a twin of his horse. He further said that his family is all for honesty, but the horse looks just like the one he had lost. A man who was suspicious would easily believe his eyes and not his heart. He wished them and went away. John Byro knew that the horse was his, but he could not claim for the horse because he knew both the cousins, Aram and Murad, belonged to the family that was known for its honesty, and he believed these boys could not steal anything at all. Then he went back to his home, and Murad wished him back. The next morning, they took the horse back to John Byro's vineyard and put it in his barn. The dogs followed them around without making any sound. Murad replied they would not bark at them since he had way with dogs. All these incidents prove that Murad was also a crazy member of the family, because he knew, he used to say that he had a way with horses, he had a way with farmers, he had a way with dogs. So Murad put his arms around the horse, then pressed his nose into the horse's nose. He patted him and then they went away. That same afternoon, John Byro visited Aram's house in his Surrey and showed his mother his horse that returned. He said he did not know what to think as the horse was much stronger now with a better temper. He thanked God. Uncle Khosrow, who was in the parlor again, shouted irritated, "Quiet man, quiet. Your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it."
So children, this was the end of the lecture, and now I will assign you homework. You people are supposed to read this complete chapter thoroughly and write the summary of this chapter in your Fair English notebook. I hope you people would have understood the chapter, and now you will be capable enough to summarize it in your Fair English notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.